Welcome to Ops Experts with the collab team here. Taryn, Savannah, Ben, all of us here together. Welcome y'all.
Well, thanks.
How's it going today?
It is a grand day.
Nice.
My snow's melting. The snow's coming off my roof. So I still have, I still only have like a little bit of my Christmas tree visible out front, but it's better than it being like over the Christmas tree
Oh my god!
a week ago. So
is that how you guys tell which month it is? It's like a barometer. The more of the Christmas tree that you can see in the front yard is what month it is of the year.
this year's been the weirdest, because I've been out here like off and on for about 10 years, a little bit more than 10 years. And this is like the most snow that I ever remember having. Like this doesn't like this. There is no gauge of like what month it is because this is just insanity. Like it's just, we buried out here.
Well, let us know when we need to send help.
Okay. I think that was like a month ago, but we're okay.
Awesome. Well, last week we had a pretty fun conversation with Mason. Really enjoyed that. One of my favorite things about getting to work with so many different clients is getting to work with so many different contractors. And we can only do so much. We don't do everything, just like Mason doesn't do everything. So it's fun when we get to meet really cool people who are awesome at what they do that we can work with in tandem in their special zone. So really awesome to hear from Mason in something. It's definitely a part of a business where I push off and I'm like, I don't know anything. Go talk to this guy. So it's really fun to hear from him and what that entails with him with videos and editing, even ads and working with people and the creative process Savannah knows about.
It's really interesting to hear him too, like how he has to always struggle with like the creative side of his brain and also the operation side of his brain, where it's like, I need to make a video, but I have no inspiration to make a video, but I have a deadline. And like that struggle, I imagine is real for a lot of creatives. And it again makes me super glad that there's Masons out there so that I don't have to try and do that.
Yeah, because I'm sure sometimes he gets something done and it's still better than any of us can do. It's still great for his company, but he might not feel good about it because it didn't come from his creative side. It's just something he had to get done regardless of his flow. But still, with the experience, you can create a top-notch end result having that under your belt.
Yeah, done is better than perfect is a really hard phrase for a lot of creatives.
Yeah.
Must encapsulate, embrace, but it's a hard one.
Yeah. So really cool. I'm excited to work more with him as he helps the collab team out too with some of our creatives. Really looking forward to that. Any other takeaways from our conversation?
I just think that I don't know, he really hit the nail on the head when it came to making sure that you have that operational structure set in place. Because when I think of creatives, I just think of people who are like freeform, willy-nilly, just out there, making stuff. But even in his space, like he drove home the fact that like, no, you need to have these set schedules, set hours that you're working. He still works within a very, not rigid, but like set schedule of his day. It's just funny that like wherever you go in whatever industry you are, like you need operations in the background to make sure that all the things that need to get done. So it was really interesting to hear him say that, because I thought he was just going to talk about how he just makes videos, and sometimes he has to put some videos out for clients on a weekly or monthly basis, but not like how rigid he laid it out, like, okay, I do this, and then at this time of the day I make sure I'm doing this, and then by this day I'm doing this. It's like, wow, that's a lot more schedule. And it makes sense if you want to be like a highly successful creative person too, not just somebody who's doing stuff for like a hobby or an art form, but somebody who's doing it actually in a business setting. It takes a lot of structure.
It's actually something that I've been reading about, like art as a business and stuff, and trying to just like get myself more immersed in that mindset. And that's like a key thing that keeps coming up, that it's like the difference between professional artists and the hobbyist is not talent, it's not skill, it is literally just like doing the thing and getting it done. So it's the difference between like having the skill to do it. You can be a fantastic artist, but no one will ever know if you're not rigid on your scheduling, setting deadlines for yourself. And I've been trying to like push in my creative circles, because you'll see artists, well, if you're in artist circles like on Facebook and whatever, you'll see artists being like, I just don't know how to get everything done. There's just so much to do in a day. I don't really want another, I don't want to get another calendar. And it's like, you don't need another calendar. Like, you need project management. And I had someone specifically say, I don't want project management software. And I'm like, that's kind of too bad. Like, if you want to get it done, like, I'm telling you, like, try Asana. It's free. Like, I'm just pushing Asana on everybody all the time. But like, I've been specifically pushing it on artist people because they keep asking how to fit more into their day. And it's like, yeah, like, you got to get those deadlines, and it doesn't feel fluffy, but that's how you get it done. And that's how you go from being hobbyist to actually doing something with it and making it your life. So
yeah, I really like the organization aspect of it too. That really hit with me because I love organizing. Just like how many terabytes of video files he has, and has to know where they are and what they entail, which videos where. Somebody's like, hey, pull up that video we recorded at that one thing we did 2 years ago. It's like, so are you going to plug in every hard drive until you find it? Or are you going to commit to being a little bit more organized and knowing what's on each hard drive? So you just have to pull the hard drive, you know where it's at.
Yep.
Because you can't just like, it's not one of those things you can just search your drive folder and find it. It's like, these are separate hard drives that are big, that just exist physically. And you can't just say, hey, search my hard drive for so-and-so. You don't know which hard drive. Yeah, that would be
each of the hundreds of folders, I'm sure, in each hard drive, and the thousands of videos that I'm sure you didn't title so-and-so at this place at this time for this person.
Yeah, that would be a fun problem to solve. Hard drive naming conventions.
Oh my gosh.
you think that through, you let me know, because I change mine too often. And then, yeah, trying to remember projects from 3 years ago. And I'm like, I think that was when I was naming it this way. I was in like an underscore phase. So
yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about some cool tools then. How about that? You guys into cool tools?
cool tools.
Now, what would make sense is if we had some video related cool tools, but we don't, because we're switching gears. We're looking at today copy cool tools. So,
which is creative.
And
yes,
these cool tools could be used to help with the copy that surround your videos.
That's for sure. And they can even start from a video for voice.
Oh yeah,
and what do you call it? Transcriptions.
Mm-hmm.
I got a cool tool here, you guys. I heard about recently. A copywriter actually uses it to help make sure their emails are written at a certain grade level. And by grade level, I mean like grade of school level.
Interesting.
The easier your copy is to read, the easier it is for somebody to understand it, the easier for them to take action on it. The more complex your email is to read, they're going to be like, oh, I'm lost, delete. So they actually go through, paste their emails into this program and try to shoot for a certain grade level, as well as some other recommendations. So let me just go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the free Hemingway app. Now,
free's good.
Online version's free. You can download the desktop version for, I think it's $20 for life, not a SaaS product, which you don't ever see.
Wow.
This is pretty cool. You're just going to go ahead and paste in. Let's say you have an email and you're going to paste it in here. We can even like paste in an email here real quick. Let's see how this email is. This email has not been, actually it probably has been. So you paste in your email and it's going to give you different colors, adverbs, like adverbs aren't as great. It's going to give you, use a forceful verb or omit it entirely. So use a verb instead of an adverb because verbs, carry more weight to them. So instead of saying you've been temporarily locked out, you could say you have been hereforth locked out. But you know what I mean? That's a hard example, but this one I actually think was run through the program. So it's not a good example because it doesn't have any
It doesn't have suggestions because it's already
errors.
made too.
Yeah. So adverbs are weakening phrases. So are helpfully shown in blue. You can just omit it. Are shown in blue. Perhaps, qualifier, be bold, don't hedge. Let's get rid of it.
Interesting.
So that's cool. It's going to show you adverbs. It's going to show you use of passive voice, meaning the goal of 2 or fewer, as opposed to active voice. So you can make sure you're not switching back and forth. It's going to phrase has a simpler alternative. So you can utilize a shorter word. You can use a shorter word. How about that? And then it's going to show you sentences that are hard to read. And then red is sentences that are very hard to read. Your sentence is so dense and complicated that your readers will get lost trying to follow its meandering, splitting logic. Try editing the sentence to remove the red.
Wow.
So it's just a fun little way. It's giving it a readability of a grade 6 right now. Not bad. People shoot for like a grade 3, grade 4.
Can I say I love that logic, that method, because I feel like people that are just kind of starting out with their business and they're trying to figure out how to send regular emails and like writing copy and all that kind of stuff. I feel like people are usually probably going to try and project a level of intelligence beyond themselves because they're so like self-conscious about putting themselves out there, and they're going to set themselves up for failure, not even knowing it. And it's not because people think you're dumb. It's because people think that you're inaccessible. Like if someone's going to, no one's going to take a bajillion years to read your thing. Like they want to just get through their email, get the information, make a decision and delete it or not. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
We've also all seen those marketing emails that are like 3 pages long because they're like, I just want to tell my customers about everything about this product. And you're like, holy cow, dude, I'm not going to read, 400 words about in any email. Anybody sent me a 400-word email, I would immediately read one line and delete it.
Yeah.
So for those who tend to err on that side, this would be really good just to tell them like, look, chop out a whole paragraph.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool. It gives you a reading time too. So how long it would take somebody to read this.
Seconds. Wow.
You got to take this with a grain of salt though, because after doing some research, self-publishing school, Chandler Bolt's company, they highly recommend this app. It's great for writers, just to paste, you can paste a lot in here at once, go through it, edit it, just great for DIYers. But their call out was take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't know your voice. So if your voice is geared a certain way, don't take every recommendation. Just look at the recommendations and see if it applies. Because if you are an author or you are writing something in a specific style, you still want to keep your voice.
Yeah.
You just want this to help you convey your message.
Or like, I mean, I can see if you're wanting to write something super technical about a piece of software, like you don't want that in like grade 2. Like
right.
you do need it to be pretty technical if it's important to know about. You don't want to dumb that down.
Yeah. Yeah. An intro to physics textbook should probably read it a grade 12.
I don't know. Now I want to copy and paste and see if we could bring it down to a grade 2. And like, we can all learn advanced physics, guys.
Those bright stars are not gaseous bubbles. Well, what else we got, guys? Hemingway editor is pretty cool. That's a cool tool.
I've got a cool tool. Called Jasper. With ChatGPT being all the rage right now for copywriting. One of our clients actually has been looking into this and has signed up for Jasper. And it is, if you've used ChatGPT at all, you know like how well it is at writing. And this is, I call this, I think of Jasper as like the Apple version of ChatGPT, whereas, it's easier to use, much more user-friendly, much less thought input that you have to put into it versus like maybe, a PC or Android where that's very input heavy from the user. This sort of makes everything a lot easier. It does come with a price. The pricing for Jasper is it's based on how many words you use per month. So if you're using this heavily for copywriting, you're sending out a lot of emails, that could bring up your price per month, just depending on how much you use. But it is really cool. It's got some cool functions. This is what it looks like. I'm on a free trial now when you first sign in. So it actually gives you templates to work from for all of the writing needs you might want. You can write whole documents, Amazon product features. There's stuff for YouTube video descriptions. Fun fact, the video description for this video now was made in Jasper. So if you want to go check it out after we're done with the call, you'll see the video description was made completely from this. And it's really simple to use. So for example, I can put in for a video description, our team talks about cool copywriting tools on March 16th. And I generate it, and it will come out with some cool descriptions for what I should put in this video, and just copy and paste from there. Like I said, it takes ChatGPT and makes it easier, because in ChatGPT, you would have to input prompts for what you want all of these templates to be. For example, you'd have to tell ChatGPT, I want Amazon product features in bullet points about, XYZ. This really just makes it easier. My product is the PF flyers. I tell it, they're size 9, they're black and white, they make you jump higher and run faster. And then when I generate it, I can also change the tone of voice too. So you can make it professional, friendly, funny, witty, whatever you want. And I'll just pump out some product features. So really cool. It takes, like I said, ChatGPT, and it makes it way more user-friendly. It generates these, or you can use these templates, so you don't have to think about how should I prompt this AI copywriting to make what I want. It sort of helps you along the way. I can add in key benefits features. Let's make this an angry tone of voice.
Oh,
That's what it pumps out for us. Are you tired of your pathetic excuse for a life? You feel like you can't
get mean.
Do you feel like you can't jump high enough or run fast enough? Introducing the PF flyers. So yeah, like I said, it's a much more user friendly for copywriting. It does have this art section that seems like a kind of like an old version of Dolly. If you've ever seen Dolly, it's not very good. I don't recommend this, and it's a $20 a month add-on. But if you type in, say, group of people around a computer, you'll see what I mean. It's really bad with people, and especially bad with hands. These AI art things are notoriously bad for hands.
Hands are a horror show.
Yeah, so this is what it pumps out. I've got the medium here. Let's see if we can do something more. Let's just let it pick its own medium.
Operations as expressed by Picasso.
Yeah, I did one in a stock photo. Yeah, so here's more of a stock photo. You can see the hands are always god awful, and these people just look scary. So I wouldn't recommend this add-on. Like, this doesn't even make sense.
Uncanny
scrapbook style.
Yeah, it's not great. And I say it's definitely not worth the $20 a month. I played around with this for a while, and I couldn't get a single image to come out the way I wanted it to. Everything just looks like, if you just glance at it, you're like, oh, okay. But if you actually take a moment and look at the picture, you're like, wait, there's some weird things going on here.
Oh, it gets worse.
I had one where it generated an image, and nobody had hands, but there was a hand on a mouse with no arm in front of a computer, and it was pretty creepy, actually. But if you're going to use it for really the copywriting section, it's pretty robust, and it does pump out a lot of great stuff. You've got Google Ads descriptions, all of the things that'll help you copyright really easily. You can create, entire blog posts or generators. I like this one, the cold marketing emails, an educational course that helps people start their business from home selling Amazon products. My company's name is Amazon U. And it can put out some pretty good emails just through the click of a button. And of course, you can again change the tone of voice to make it funny, witty, angry, but pretty cool tool. Like I said, if you don't want to put as much of the brain power that goes into prompting ChatGPT into exactly what you want, this is a pretty good option for doing that, but comes with a cost.
Now, do you feed it information so it can learn your voice? Can you do that?
No, you can only adjust your voice by that tone selector.
Oh,
Yeah. And that is one of the big downfalls between this and ChatGPT too, because if ChatGPT pumps out email for you and you say, no, I'd like it to be more soft, rewrite it in a softer tone and add first person versus third person, ChatGPT will do that because it's just based on prompts. This, you're kind of having to recreate the email every time. So functionality is a little bit different. I personally, this is a great tool if you have the money to spend and you don't want to take the time of ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you're going to get a better product, I think, on the back end, just because you can customize it very granularly. But this, like I said, is like the Apple to PC. Do you want something really user-friendly right out of the box? I can just start pumping away at emails, or do you want to actually have to take the time to learn how to prompt, really dig in yourself? It's just.
So this would be like probably more if you're going to do it yourself. And then ChatGPT would be like probably if you're hiring someone to help you do something with it that, like, so they probably have more like breakaway time to focus.
Yeah. This just, I think it gets you on the right path a little bit faster than if you were to do ChatGPT.
Nice.
It's great because it takes those mundane tasks that you can sit there and before you know, an hour's passed. And you're like, I was just trying to write one email. I was just trying to write one descriptive statement where an hour ago.
And it's kind of that.
Here we go. Done's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, done is better than perfect. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. And it's great for people who, like myself, aren't exactly super creative with copywriting. I'm actually the least creative when it comes to copyright. I could be like, I need a description of this video in 15 seconds. Boom, done. Perfect. Awesome. Out it goes.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about cool tools. It helps us stay in our lane so we don't waste time on things we're not good at.
Yep.
So about cool tools, Savannah, I hear you have a cool tool for us.
I do. And my cool tool is probably one that everyone's heard about because they pay for all the sexy advertising. And so like you've probably seen it on YouTube and whatever. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about Grammarly, which I feel like is kind of like the combination of taking what Hemingway is and kind of adding in a little bit of a Jasper-y flavor. So you could maybe kind of try and get similar results for less money per month. So let's, where am I? You don't need to see my calendar. Okay. So I copied and pasted just from a different copywriting thing that we're not going to talk about because after seeing Jasper, it's not very cool. And I think it's also expensive. So anyway, so we're jumping right into Grammarly where I just copied and pasted results from another thing and put it in there. And so they do have a free version on the desktop. The only thing that's annoying about it is that they tease you with what it can do, and then they don't give you the answer. Like they're like, we could tell you more suggestions about this if you want to sign up for the premium. But there is a free version that still will kind of help you edit things down further. And what's nice about it is similar to Jasper, you can choose tone of voice. And so down here on the right, you can see where it's telling you correctness, clarity, engagement, and delivery. And then under goals, you can kind of choose what's important to you. So audience, if it's for general audience, knowledgeable audience, or expert audience. Formality, if you want it to be informal, very friendly, neutral, or formal. Premium is you can decide if it's academic, business, general, email, casual, or creative. And then intent, you can say if you want to inform people of something, describe something, convince something, or tell a story. And so depending on what you choose, then it'll change your scores on the side. And And it looks like it still thinks that everything's fine because this is a really small. I told it to choose a Facebook caption for like investing in 2023 versus 2021.
Interesting.
And it gave me an okay thing, but I was hoping for more like Chat GPT. Like the copy thing that I use doesn't have any like outsider information. So it doesn't actually know what the economy is doing. So it's just like, it's different. You should learn about it. Anyway. But what's cool also about Grammarly is that it does have a Google Chrome plugin. I think it has a plugin for all the things. So even as you're responding to people for work, if you're replying to an email, if you're just quickly responding to a comment on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, it'll give you little prompts on the fly. I was going to show you guys what it looks like downloaded, but I am not going to install it. And the reason why is because do not install the Grammarly plugin if you're not willing to pay for premium, because it is basically just a pop-up ad to get premium constantly. Like they'll just constantly being like, we can make this better, but you got to pay for it. We could do this, but you got to pay for it. So if you're not going to get the premium, the free app online is really cool. It has just like a copy and paste section, which is what I just did here. So, and then you can choose, like I said, your goals and everything. But if you do want to do premium, it's, I think it's $15 a month per person. This on the side where they're like up to 149. It's not 149 people for $15. It's $15 per person up to 149 people. But that's a bit cheaper than Jasper. And if you're going to be using it constantly for all the things, you're going to get that little plugin for your browsers. I do kind of think it's worth it if you are the marketing person for your company, or if you have someone who's like plugged in to be constantly replying to people like that. Like for my own personal uses, like that is probably a little bit steep for me. I'm just going to stick with my free version. But yeah, so I feel like you could easily take what you got in Hemingway and adjust like tone of voice and everything for that. And then yeah, they give you a little score out of 100 in the corner.
It's almost like if like Jasper is great if you know nothing about copywriting and you absolutely hate it. This would be great if you are a copywriter and you just need somebody to check your work, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like it's great to it's a great thing to plug and play for that, like when you're ready to edit it and make sure that it's in your voice and that it looks the way that you want it to. It's kind of like a little fact checker on the side to make sure you're doing what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, it was like people were using it for just spell check, grammar, sentences. The issue with it was, this was a really funny issue. I don't know if you remember this, Savannah. Somebody we worked with, they'd use it a lot. What would happen is you'd have it open, and while you're building a website, it's checking your content while you're building, but it's actually running script on your page to check live content. And then you go to publish your website while that's running, and it would actually like show the little Grammarly icon. Remember, it was like the yellow fingers.
I do remember that. Yes.
Your site, because it would publish that code on accident. And so you go to look at your site and you're like, why is this a random little Grammarly icon?
I remember that was all over the place and it was messing up our formatting, and it was a link. I totally remember that. And customers were asking about it. Yeah, so maybe if you install the plugin, don't use, if you're updating your website, like copy and paste, don't use the plugin on the website that you're updating.
That's hilarious.
I mean, that was what, 3-4 years ago. Hopefully they fixed that by now, but it was just funny. And it's like, why is this always here? And it's like, well, it's because it's code, and you hit publish and it saves all code that's written into your page at that time, which Grammarly injected code into to read your page. And now there's
that's so funny.
Random little logos on your website. You have to scratch it because you couldn't always find the code.
Wasn't it like a thumbs up? And people were like, why is there a thumbs up?
That's what it was. It was a thumbs up.
And we were like, what in the world? Like, why? Like, I'm glad that someone approves of what we're doing, but that's so funny. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yep, just new iterations of companies. You know, you go through the little quirks. They're fun. They're fun now to think about. But back then it was like, I got to recreate this whole page from scratch because it's ClickFunnels and I can't edit code in ClickFunnels. It's just drag and build. So the code is somewhere and I can't delete it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was a whole thing.
Fun stuff. Those are cool tools though. I really like them.
Cool.
I know we all highly value the ones we shared. Personally, I think mine's the best. Ben might think his is the best. Savannah might think hers is the best.
I'm gonna bookmark Hemingway like right away. So I can't afford Jasper. So I'll just keep, hoping one of our clients has it so I can play with it.
I'm on the fence about Jasper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if you're a business and you want one account for your business, but if you're a single user, I still think ChatGPT is the way to go. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
There is that.
Yep, maybe as we continue utilizing it, it'll come back around in another cool tool feature. I know I've been enjoying using it for work every once in a while. And fun. Well, thank you both for spending time with us and our listeners / viewers today. It's been a hoot. It was a good time, in case you didn't know what a hoot means.
Got it. Okay. I was going to use Hemingway.
Like we're just partying in here. So
awesome. Well, I'll see you all again next week. Thank you all and have a nice day.
You too. Bye.